Hey, what's up? It's Reimers back for month 36. 3 whole years. That's kind of crazy. I wanted to do something special, so I'm on camera for you guys. I'm in this beautiful park, a nice view of the Hangang and that river, that building, which apparently my friend told me like was the tallest building in Seoul at one point, but now it's like kind of old, kind of cool. Anyways, um, it's been quite a long time, 3 years, but I think I've come a long way. I'm here in Korea. I've been having a lot of fun. So the other thing I wanted to do for this month that's special is I have prepared a interview. I haven't done it yet, but it's going to be done. You're going to watch it in a second. Of me and a friend, my Korean friend. We're going to be talking all in Korean, so you can see kind of what my Korean level is like right now. And then after that, I'm going to do the kind of traditional, like all the other videos, kind of talking over my notes. I think I got some interesting things to share from this month. I think I've made some good progress. Still a lot more to do, obviously. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for following along. And yeah, here's to 3 years and maybe three more. I don't know. We'll see. Um, I think when I go back and watch the original video, month zero, where I talk about like I don't even know how long this would go. I don't think like achieving anywhere near fluency would ever be possible. It's kind of crazy to see kind of where we are now, but it's been a lot of fun. I think it's been a life goal of mine to really seriously dedicate myself to learning another language. So um, it's been great. So I'm going to pass it over to the interview, and then after that, I'm going to talk about my month, and then kind of like some like updates on goals and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Hope you enjoy that. Make sure to leave a comment if you found something interesting. I read them all. I try to reply to all of them, and I will see you guys in a bit. Bye bye. Okay. Oh my
아,
god.
웃지 마라.
Oh
웃지
my god. All right.
말라고.
여러분 안녕하세요. 위엠을 3년 기념의 특별한 인터뷰입니다. 저 한국인 친구 상화도 함께 있어요. 상화 씨 인사해 줄래요?
안녕하세요. 상화라고 합니다.
좋아요.
저는, 네.
어씨, 망했다.
아니야, 아니야.
그럼 여러분 사실 제가 이 질문들은 다 썼는데 답을 별로 생각 안 해봤고 외운 것도 없어요. 그러니까 지금 들으시는 게 제 현재 한국어 실력 그대로요.
음, 음, 음.
그럼
네, 오늘은 제가, 이든이의 이 한국어 실력을 조금 평가를 해보기 위해서 질문을 몇 개 해보려고 하는데요. 이든이가 말한 대로 지금 외운 게 하나도 없어가지고 그냥 자기 한국어 실력이 그냥 다 그, 들켜버리는 그런 전화가 될 것입니다. 네, 일단 첫째로 자기소개 부탁드립니다.
네.
네 씨.
저는 EMS라고 합니다. 3년 동안 미국에서 한국어 공부했고 이제는 키원
음,
학생으로 한국에 공부하고 있어요. 어, 2달 동안 됐고
음, 음.
한국에서 많이 즐거웠어요.
한국에 그럼 딱 2달 계신 거예요, 지금까지?
네, 9주?
네. 아, 2달 하고 2주?
아니, 2달 하고
음,
한 주 추가.
하하하. 그렇군. 그러면 이제 한국어를 3년 동안 배우셨다고 했는데,
네.
일단 애초에 한국어를 배우기 시작한 이유가 뭐예요?
네, 그냥 어렸을 때부터 다른
네.
언어학 이런 거 관심 어, 많이 있거든요. 그래서
오,
그냥 중등학교에서 고등학교에서 그냥 다른
네.
언어 배워봤는데 다 포기했어요. 근데 진짜요?
어떤, 어떤 언어를 배우셨는데요?
고등학교에서 일본어 2년 동안 공부했는데
네.
애니메이션 관심이 많이
네.
없어가지고
아,
근데 고등학교에서 그냥 한국 문화, 케이팝, 키드라마 이런 거 관심 생겼으니까
네.
그때 그거랑 오래동안 좋아했어가지고 그냥
음,
LCK, T1 같은 거. 그래서 그때 그거 그 초아에서 한국어 배우면 그, 좋지 않을까? 생각을 했어서
음,
시작했습니다.
그렇군. 그때 좋아했던 케이팝 그룹이
아, 그런
누구였어요?
질문
아, 그래요?
물어보는 거예요?
아, 물어보면 안 돼. 너무 개인적인 질문인가? 오케이, 오케이. 네, 그러면 다음 질문으로 넘어가 보도록 하겠습니다.
네.
이든 씨가 이제 한국어를 3년 동안이나 하시고 이제 한국에 2달 하고 1주 아주 자세하게 2달 하고 1주나 이제 사셨었는데 이제 한국어 실력이 가장 많이 늘었다고 느낀 순간이 있었나요?
네, 있어요. 오랫동안 그냥
네,
how do you say like majority 그냥 보통은 그
네,
알아들지 않는 거 가끔은 이해하는 거.
네,
근데 여기서
아,
바꿨어요. 그 보통은
네, 네,
알아들
네,
수 있는데 가끔은
네,
이해 안 돼요. 그래서 그때 그냥 친구랑 놀 때 와 그냥
음,
80% 90% 가끔
네,
100%그 알아들 수 있어서 그
음,
대박이야. 그
음,
순간이었어요.
그 알아들을 수 있는 거 리스닝에서 굉장히 나 좀 많이 늘었다 이게
네, 네,
느껴지시는군요.
네.
저는 개인적으로 이제 저도 다른 언어를 해봤는데 이제 좀 어려운 부분이 숫자거든요. 근데 이제 이든 씨가 방금 얘기하실 때 그냥 뭐 80, 90 이렇게 그냥 휙휙 내뱉는 걸 보고 약간 한국어 정말 많이 늘었구나 이게 저도 개인적으로 느껴집니다.
네,
네,
감사합니다.
그러면 이제 한국에서 2달 사셨는데 한국에서 사는 거는 좀 어떠셨어요? 그 고향이
어,
어디라고 하셨죠?
고향은 그 미국인데
네,
여기서 엄청 재밌었어요. 그냥
음,
한국어만이 공부했는데 이제는
네,
그냥 실제로 쓸 수 있어서
음, 음.
그거 그냥 저는 됐어요. 이런 느낌이에요. 그냥
뭐, 뭐가 됐다는 거죠?
그냥 like we made it. We're so back.
아,
이런 느낌. 어 근데
네,
그냥 새로운 경험 많이
네,
해보니까
음,
그냥 친구 많이 사귀고 그냥 새로운 음식 먹어봤고 술 많이 먹어도 어
네.
그냥 재밌어요.
어, 하긴 이제 이든 씨가 또 어리시잖아요. 어리시니까 이제 술을 많이 먹어도 다음날 그냥 짱짱하시고 그런,
맞아요.
그런 게 부럽네요. 네. 그러면은 이제 한국에서의 경험이 아주 재밌었다고 말씀 주셨는데, 한국에서 제일 좋아하는 건 뭐예요?
제일 좋아하는 거는 음, 젊은 사람 많은 거.
아, 왜 자세하게 젊은 사람 많은 것이죠?
그거 이상한 게 들 수 있지만 어
예.
그냥 미국에서 시카고 살거든요. 시카고랑
음, 음.
샌프란시스코 샀어요. 그래서
어,
그런 도시 큰 도시인데
네.
그냥 예를 들면 어젯밤에
음.
성수 가봤거든요. 그
아,
성수에
성수.
그냥
예.
나이 평균은 그
네.
20, 10세?
네.
그래서 20살, 20살? 이런
음,
그냥
음.
젊은 사람 진짜 많거든. 진짜 많아요. 그냥
맞죠,
그런
맞죠.
길거리
음.
시카고 없을 것 같아요. 없는 것 같아요. 어,
시카고엔 젊은 사람이 없다고요?
아니 젊은 사람 많은데 그냥
네.
그런 동네 그런
아,
길거리 어,
그런 이 젊은
하플
사람들이 넘쳐 흐르는 그런
어,
하플 중에 하플 이런 데가 없다.
네.
에헤헤헤.
그래서
그러면 혹시
네.
그 늙은 사람들이 많이 있는 곳은 별로 안 좋아하시나요?
아니요, 그냥 분위기 다르잖아요.
음,
그래서 그냥 그 가끔
네,
어 저는 공원 그 걸는 거 그 좋아해요.
네.
그래서 그 공원 갈 때
오,
그냥 나이 많은 사람 진짜 많아요. 그
네,
그래서 그냥 그런 분위기 그냥
네.
칠하고 그냥
음,
톨톨하고. 근데
음.
이런 하플 분위기가 어
네.
신나다.
음,
그냥 와 여기 재밌다. 그 갈 거
음, 음,
많고
음.
만날 사람 많고
음.
많이 놀 수 있어요.
어, 그렇구나. 거기서 그냥 이제 랜덤하게 그 사람들이랑 만나고 막 그러나요?
그거 가끔 해요.
아주, 아주 외향적이시네요.
어 그렇긴 해요.
아, 네. 그러면
네.
이제, 실례했어요. 그, 다음, 문제가 아니라
자,
질문으로
한
한번,
질문 더 해볼까요?
네네. 다음
마지막
질문으로,
질문.
마지막 질문이에요?
네. 아니 그냥 그 선택해도 되는데 그
네,
인터뷰의 마지막 질문이에요.
네. 인터뷰 마지막 질문.
네.
뭔가 정해져 있는 느낌이네요. 어, 그러면 이제 제가 개인적으로
네.
그 궁금한 것인데요. 그
오케이.
한국어를 못해서 제일 이것 좀, 곤란했다, 좀 부끄럽다, 이런 적이 있나요?
한국의 첫 주에
네.
그런 경우가 많았어요. 근데
첫 주에.
그거는 그냥 당황스러웠어요. 그냥 와,
음,
그냥 무서웠어요. 근데 이제는
어,
이제는
네.
음,
이제는 뭐 무서운 게 없다?
아니 무서운 게 있어요. 어, 어, 그냥
지금도 무서운 게 있나요?
그냥 뭐지 일상생활
네네.
그 관련된 대화는 그
네.
보통 다 알아들 수 있는데 그냥 가끔은 그냥 professional context이랑 그냥 technical context
아,
이런 거 그냥 이거 한국말이에요? 그 이런 생각이 있어요. 가끔은.
어, 예를 들면, 이제 말씀하신 그런 전문적인 상황이나, 이제 그런 상황이 맞나요? 보통? 한국에서 살면?
음, 어, 가끔 그냥 새로운 곳에 가면 그냥
음.
directions 그 들을 때
아,
그냥 그거
네.
가끔 이해할 수 없어서 그냥 걱정돼요.
음, 그래도 뭐, 이제
뭐?
일상생활에서 나오는 대화를
네.
거의 뭐 8, 90% 정도 이해를 하신다는 게 대단한 거고,
감사합니다.
네. 저는 뭐 개인적으로 이제 이든 씨랑 대화를 그래도 몇 번 했을 때
네.
이제 제 말을 이해를 못한다라고 느낀 적은 별로 없기 때문에,
이제는
예,
그냥
예,
오래전에
예,
그,
예,
다르잖아요.
네?
그냥 그
네,
오래전에 그, 어, 이해 안 된다고 그
응, 응.
이런 시간 그냥
그쵸.
많았어요.
근데 보통 그럴 때, 이게 시간이 조금 오버되고 있긴 한데,
음. 아, 괜찮아요.
이제, 그, 그 마지막 질문, 정말 마지막.
아, 그래요. 괜찮아요.
그, 보통 그렇게 이해가 안 될 때,
네.
바로 그냥 상대방 말을 이렇게 딱 스탑을 시키고, 나 방금 이해 안 됐어. 라고 얘기를 하시나요? 아니면은 이제 그냥 이해하는 척 하시나요?
어, 그냥 가장 후회한 거 한국에서 그 두 개
네.
있어요. 한 개,
오,
이렇게
네.
이해 안 할 때 그냥
네.
말 안 하는 거.
음,
그거 안 하면 음, 그냥 나쁜 거라고 생각해요.
좀 나쁜 습관이다.
네. 그리고
음, 음, 음.
어, 그냥 친구한테 내가
네.
실수 나면 고쳐준다고 그거
네.
가끔 하는데 그냥
네.
나는 실수 많이 지는 사람 있는 거 알고 근데
네.
그냥 아직은 완벽하지 않는데
네.
친구가 고칠 때만이 없어서
음, 음.
그거 나쁜 습관 그냥
네.
그 그냥
아,
실수 그냥 나쁜 습관 어떻게 like if you don't
예.
have people correct it then the
음.
bad habits will they won't be corrected.
음. 근데 이제 상대방이, 저도 이제 가끔 그럴 때가 있는데요. 이제 상대방이 이렇게 열심히 뭔가 말을 했어요.
음,
근데 저는 이제 한국어가 제 모국어니까
네.
상대방이 좀 실수를 해도, 무슨 말을 하고 싶어 하는지 알겠다, 이런 게
음,
있거든요. 그래서 이제 제가 이해를 했으니까 그냥
네, 네. 아니
실수를 해도
그거예요.
안
그거
고쳐주는.
그냥
네.
그 영어 배웠던 한국 사람이랑 대화할 때 저도 그래요.
예. 흠.
그냥 무슨 말인지 알아서 그냥
예.
대화 계속 하고 싶어서
네.
어 그 그냥 아무도 만할 거예요. 이런 거.
정말요? 근데 이든 씨 저랑 처음에 친해졌을 때는 이제 제가
아,
영어로 뭘 말하기만 하면
네.
이제
아니 그거
그 미친
문자로요.
듯이
문자로
미친
문자로요.
듯이
더
커렉션.
쉬워요.
네. 실제로 만났을 땐 안 그런다.
네, 그냥 실제로는 더 무리한가?
음, 예? 방금 뭐라고요?
무리하다?
무리한다고. 예,
네,
예, 예. 무리를 안 한다고 실제로 만났을 때는.
네, 네,
내가 너무 한국인 같았어. 아, 네, 뭐, 그러면
네,
제 쪽에서는 이제 질문이 다 끝났네요.
네. 상화 씨 인터뷰 해줘서
네,
진짜 감사하고
예,
구독자분들은
예,
이거 들으시면 그냥
예.
how do I say like 그냥 많이 그
고,
내 한국어 실력 정도 그
네.
알려주시면 좋을 how do I say like I hope they like understood my level. How would you say
아, 제가 한국어를, it depends on like how you frame it though.
that?
제가 한국어를, do you want to brag?
No, no, no. It's like I hope like this interview was like helpful for understanding it.
아, 방금, 방금 이 인터뷰로 제가 한국어를 얼마만큼 할 수 있는지 이해하는데 조금이라도 도움이 됐길 바라며. 야, 너무 긴데?
아무튼
네.
구독자분들은 많이 봐서서 감사하고
음, 예,
이
예.
인터뷰 그 끝나고 다음에 저도 조금 더 그냥
네,
말할 수, 그 할 거서 계속
네.
그 보시면 좋을 것 같아요. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. 바이.
다음에 또 만나요.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought that went really well. I had a lot of fun. I hope that kind of was valuable or maybe interesting. I mean, I think that's probably the best thing I've ever kind of like published in terms of like the most accurate depiction of what my Korean looks like. So, yeah, obviously, like if you watch that, I mean, depending on your Korean ability, I am far from fluency or being supernatural, but I can have conversations like that, right? And I have fun, and I think that's where I'm at. But yeah, so let's get into the notes from this month. Um, so something that's really interesting is I'm very impressed with my ability to recall a word I learned from an Anki card. Like even like years later, I will be like, oh my god, like I can say the sentence and remember the scene when I hear a word, like I literally tell a friend, like, "Oh my god!" They'll just like it'll come up, and I'll be like, "Dude, I learned that word from this scene in this show," and that's it's pretty impressive. I mean, that's really impressive that Anki kind of is able to do that. I've been using these like kind of shitty AI cards compared to the Migaku ones. I think I showed that off last month. I basically enter like a word and a sentence from when I'm meeting with people, and then I AI generate like the kind of like description explanation part. They don't have a picture. They don't really have the context of the conversation. Like it's possible for me to write that down, but usually what happens is like when I'm talking with a friend, like just a word that I don't know will come up, and they just write it down. But it's really just not the same as like having the full like sentence and scene from a show. So I think the show cards are much better. Um, the problem is, and I'll talk about this later, is I'm just not watching TV anymore, right? Like I'm just here and I'm talking to friends instead of watching TV. So there's going to be some compromises, and I think that's just okay. It is what it is. But that is interesting. Um, I think there are some times, I don't think I do this all the time, but there are some times when I think in English talking Korean, and this is definitely bad habit. And I think this happens, yeah, when I'm like in a deep conversation and I like have something really meaningful that I want to say. It just comes to me in English first, and then I think sometimes I try to translate that. Um, but I don't feel this way in like kind of normal, kind of standard conversation. Like I feel like it just kind of feels like straight Korean. But there are times like this where it happens. Um, this should be Korean. Yeah, so I know this stuff is like kind of cringe. Like this is like peak like language learner kind of like cringe stuff. But like, oh my god, like I like or what's like a like you like or like around English people or like in an English context you like use some Korean words like super cringe. But genuinely, like yeah, there were some times I was like hanging out with an English friend and like the Korean words or phrases would just come to my head first. Um, or like kind of like instinctually, like just like kind of uh, like reflex when something happens, like you just like say something. Sometimes the Korean stuff, and then also yeah, there was one time I said our family in English, which like is funny because it's like 우리 가족, right? Um, and in English you would never say our family, you say my family, unless you're like with a member of your family. So that was I was like I literally that happened. I said our family, and I was like, holy fuck, I just said that. Like that's so weird. Um, yeah, pulling out really niche words is pretty fun. Like my vocabulary is kind of getting better and better. And yeah, there are some words where you say them and people are really like, dude, where the fuck did you learn that word? That's always really fun. Yeah, I think my hangouts have been getting a lot better over the last month. And I think especially as I like have some friends that I meet up with again and they kind of like know my level and they like kind of know what I'm like. Um, I've been collecting more words with the Anki thing. I think that makes the conversation like collecting words a lot more fluid. And then also I'm like much more aggressive about raising my hand when I don't understand. I think that helps a lot. This was something I think I talked about last month, but the way Korean friends talk to each other versus me is really interesting. You don't see this a lot if you hang out one on one, but there are some times where like you hang out like two on one, and then the way like the two Korean people talk to each other versus the way they talk to me, or the way they'll like talk to their like mom or their friend on the phone versus the way they talk to me. It's like very different. It's very interesting. Which is like or not like very different, but like sometimes you're like, wow, like they are talking way faster than they talk to me, or they're just like it sounds way more natural when they talk to them versus when they talk to me. Um, and I mean, you could probably ask them like, hey, like, can you just like talk to me like that? And they would say like, oh, I don't think you understand. But usually I do understand, right? Like usually I do understand. This was funny. I had two Korean friends, and they're like, "Oh, like, can we try talking in English? I want to practice my English." And their English is like not good, right? Like it's not like they like can actually speak English. It's like these are people who like really like cannot speak English. But it was really funny because it actually made me like kind of feel a little bit better about my Korean. Like I was like talking to them, they're like, "Oh my god, like please slow down," and they're like so locked in, like 100% locked in, and it never really seemed like they fully understood what I was saying. Like I would like ask a question, you just get like blank stares, and then in this like really like broken speech, they would respond. And I see how like if you had that Korean level, and I've like seen people, or I don't know if I've seen a lot of foreigners with that Korean level, but I've seen a lot of people with that English level, and you just can't really have fun. It's very hard to find people who are willing to talk to you. This is actually interesting. And this is actually, I think, a really interesting argument for it might be more effective to learn a language outside the country because you don't like feel isolated by studying alone, right? Where like people really, if you're like in the country, you really want to be hanging out and talking to people. But if you really suck, like you're actually learning way less than watching a TV show, right? Like I'm learning probably more than watching a TV show because the real life conversation is way more immersive. Like it's way more, like I'm just so like, what's it called? Yeah, more like present than watching a TV show where you can kind of drift off. Like it's very hard to drift off in real life. But if your language learning is super bad, then like these kind of conversations, you just don't make a lot of progress. And so I think if you came at this level and like tried to hang out with people, I don't think you'd have a lot of fun. I don't think you'd actually get a lot better as well. Um, oh wait, yeah, this was really yeah my point. And yeah, so talking to strangers, I've done a bit more this month. What's really cool is, yeah, I feel like I can go up to basically any random Korean person on the street and start talking to them about a bunch of things and understand almost everything they're going to say. Um, if there's something I don't understand, I feel very confident that I'm able to identify what it is I don't understand. I'm confident that I'm able to like say like, hey, I didn't understand that part, ask for help. I'm confident that I'll usually be able to understand their explanation. And so I've been doing a bit more talking to strangers. So I started just with like going around with a friend and asking like very simple questions like, hey, like what's the time? Like, hey, do you have any recommendations? Hey, do you? Um, and then you start like giving like small compliments. Now, Korea is a country where small talk is kind of like less of a thing. Now, because I'm a foreigner, you can kind of get away with this. Like, I think people are slightly more accepting of it, but also it is still completely possible. I know it's possible because there's this guy on Instagram called Cho Jerry, and he has these kind of videos.
어머니도 오늘 자켓 색깔 화사하고 너무 좋다 그죠? 좋은 하루 보내세요. 좋은 하루 보내세요.
And this kind of stuff, no one in Korea does this shit, right? Like, it's not like everyone in America does this, but no one in Korea does this, right? But this guy's just like a average Korean guy, and he's able to kind of do this. And I'm sure there's some people don't respond, some people might give him weird looks, but usually people are pretty positive. And so I would like watch his videos, really study them, study the vibe. I think one of the interesting things that you can't see in his videos is you can't see his face because I'm sure his face is like really smiling. Like a lot of this is like energy. Um, but yeah, I've gotten better, and I think like Korean like small talk is really interesting because you have to speak in this like very formal way to strangers, right? Um, like 오늘 착장 너무 좋으시네요, right? Like 너무 예쁜데요, 예쁘신데요, right? Like 이렇게. So, but and so there's like also like if you meet someone, like there's not a lot of vocabulary for just being like, hey, like what are you up to, dude? How's your day going? Like what's up, man? Like where are you headed? You know, like these kind of like very casual, just like, hey, like let's find something to talk about. Like how's your life? You know, how you doing? Like those kind of words just like don't really exist, right? Like you can say like 가는 길 있나요? Like, this kind of stuff. Or you can say like 오늘 어떠셨나요? But those just like sound kind of weird. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of walk around. I give some compliments sometimes. I've made a couple friends on the street. Um, I met this one person on the street. We hung out, had a really fun time. I was with some friends, and we like walking around. The challenge was to find someone to eat churros with us. So we went up to this like random couple. It was the first couple we went up to. The first people we went up to. We're like, 그 혹시 저희가 추로스 먹으러 갈 건데 혹시 같이 드실래요? And they actually said yes. And the guy was super nice, like college age, and we have like some soft plans to like play some league and hang out. So that's pretty nice. I yesterday I was eating hotdog and I started talking to these guys, and they were a bunch of like high school students from this like town outside Busan. We talked for like 20 minutes. So it was super nice. Talked to this girl in a subway station. She had like drumsticks sticking out of her bag, and I like played drums in high school. So I was like, oh, like, do you play drums? We talked for like 15 minutes. So that stuff's been fun. I think my confidence has been improving. I think my vocabulary in terms of like how to talk to strangers has been improving, and I think it's been a fun way to meet people. And also, I think this was just a really good life skill. Like, I feel like it's much harder to do this stuff in Korean for me. Like, I feel like there's like two parts, right? There's a Korean and then also Korea, right? Like I don't really like compliment or say hi to older people as much because I feel like they might be a little bit less likely like to talk to foreigners or to talk to like to do small talk like this. I mean, again, it's possible. Jerry does it. And then also I have to do it in Korean where like it's a little scary. There might be stuff I don't know that I might like kind of fumble my words. Or if I was in America, it would still be hard. Right? Like talking to strangers is still hard. But I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to be like, hey, like, nice shirt, bro. Hey, have a good day, you guys. You look great today. Hey, the sun's out. It's a great day. Have a good one, right? But I think it is hard here, and so I think if I can do it here, in a culture that's like less accepting of it, in a language I'm less comfortable with, then I think that's just a good skill, being able to small talk with people that I can kind of take with me back home. The other thing was I kind of slowed down the Anki. I'm doing like 0 to 5 new cards per day, so kind of like 20 to 30 reviews, but I'm still doing it. So yeah, that was this month. So yeah, 3 years. 3 years we made it. Long-term updates and goals. So I think the big picture is obviously massive success. I mean, I have a ton of fun out here. I feel like I just like really enjoy my life. Like I feel like I can just go around and, like, talk to people and understand things and just live here very comfortably. Obviously, there's still a long way to go. When I listen to that interview, sound kind of like shit sometimes. But at the same time, I'm like really good, and that feels good. And I feel like the work I put in meant something. I feel like it really, I think it shows, right? I think when I hang out with people, they're like quite impressed, which, again, they should be. Not a lot of people spend 3 years studying something. And yeah, like in my time in Korea, I think my progress has like slowed down in some ways and sped up in some ways. So I kind of stopped the really intensive individual study that I was doing back home. So I'm not really like back home, I was like listening to podcasts all the time, listening to videos all the time, doing Anki all the time. I've kind of stopped that just because it's just not that fucking fun. And I'm here and I have limited time and I just want to have fun. But also like, my conversational skills and kind of like vocabulary of like normal day-to-day life has really improved, right? And my ability just to like talk with people and my confidence has really improved a lot. So yeah, so I think looking back, so first of all, I don't think I ever thought I would have done it this long. I mean, but by the time we got to like last year, I kind of knew I was coming to Korea, so I kind of knew I would be doing it this long. I think last year, I remember being very fearful that I would have regretted, like I would have this looming feeling of regret over me that I didn't study harder. And I do not feel that, like not even one bit. So that is actually a really massive win. And I think like, of course I could be better, right? Like again, I think I talked about this last month. Like when you think about people like Matt vs. Japan or Katsumoto, like when they went to Japan, like they could basically say anything they wanted to say, and they knew they like really rarely made mistakes, right? Am I there? No. But I don't feel like I like have this regret that I'm like not there. Like, I mean, yeah, it'd probably be slightly more fun to be slightly better, but I also think it's like fun to like get better, right? Like if you like got here and you had like nowhere left to improve, then you just like have like your life to live. But here I have like my life to live, and I still get to like keep learning. And people like love to help people who are learning, right? And I also feel like I don't often feel like, I mean, sometimes like I think it probably has been harder to make like really deeply close friends because I can't have as like intellectual of conversations as I can in English, which maybe I could if I was slightly better. But I don't actually often feel like my language abilities are like the reasons why I'm failing to build or maintain relationships. Like often it's just that like it's hard to meet people. I need to be more outgoing. I need to. I'm just like I feel like just in like there are lots of people in their native language who like don't have friends or don't have close friends or like or I mean, and I have lots of friends. Like I don't often feel like my language ability is really frustrating me all the time. Like I think the biggest thing is probably like the depth of conversations I can have, but I don't often really feel that frustrated. And so I think the point of that I had anticipated possibly regretting was much below my current level. Was basically feeling like it just like wasn't good enough, right? I like couldn't really have conversations. I couldn't really talk with people. Like there were just so many things that were still really difficult, and I just don't really feel that way. So that feels really good. Like I was really worried about that. I was really scared about that because I knew I'd spent all this time and I'm like, you know, like I'm here for 1 month. That's like a kind of big like life move, right? And so that feels good to not have that regret. You know, I think again I'd kind of talked about this before, but like my study was not that intensive, I think, compared to a lot of other people. Like there were, I mean, you guys, I talked about this every month. There are a lot of videos on this channel that are like single digit minutes long because I did 0 Korean that month, right? There are lots of many days went right into any Korean. There are weeks where I did like probably less than an hour to 30 minutes of active immersion on average per day. And so you know, part of that was because I was busy. Part of that just because I guess I could have studied harder. But I think it all worked out. I think it all really worked out. So I feel good about that. I think I surpassed like basically, I think I surpassed where I thought I would probably be. I mean, I didn't really think I would ever be better than I currently am. But yeah. So looking forward, what's next? So okay, I have 2 months left here. I think the goal here is like these 4 months in Korea weren't really about like getting a lot better, although I have gotten a lot better, but I think it's more about just like kind of capitalizing on all the work I'd done. Like I kind of saved a bunch, and it's time to spend that capital, and so I think just try to do more things and have fun with my friends. Um, and after that, I'm not quite sure, right? Like I don't really know if, like, I mean, I might want to go back to Korea. Like, I think it'd be fun to stay here longer. I have a lot of fun. Um, I'm not actually sure. And I think, like, if I see myself wanting to go back in 2 months, then obviously you keep studying. But, like, if you see yourself not going back, then, like, one day, do you just kind of, like, stop? Like, that feels really scary. Um, or do you just, like, kind of occasionally watch K-dramas just to, like, keep it up? Like, I don't really know. Um, I think, I think it would be fun to try to push towards fluency just to see if I can achieve that, like, because I know obviously there's a lot I can get better. It feels, I would describe it on the distant horizon. Like I think if I spent like another like 1 to 2 years here, I think I'd probably get there. I think I could actually value a lot of like time back home where I feel like I can do more of this like intensive phonetic work without feeling like I'm like missing out on hanging out with people or doing things, which I do feel like I do feel here if I were to do that kind of individual work. Um, and yeah, so I mean, I've definitely thought about going back. I think the biggest thing with going back is it's not actually about like getting better at Korean or Korea in particular, but just about like my kind of like life direction. And this is like a kind of less about language learning, but like uh, you know, there's a lot of years to work, right? And I worked a job for like a year, and it was fun, but you know I think there's a lot of years to work, and I think living in another country and like this is probably the like I mean I'm probably not going to get better at Korean in like my 30s, right? So this is probably it. I think it's a fun way to spend a couple years. There's a ton of young people, so much stuff to do, so many people to meet. I think it's kind of fun. So I don't actually think it would be like a terrible thing if I spent a year or two here. I think that's a like I feel like it just I feel like I could like even if it costs me opportunity costs in other ways, I feel like I could live with myself when I'm like 30 or 40, being like, yeah, like I spent like 2 years in Korea, but it was a lot of fun. I like got to like really immerse myself in another language and culture, and versus like, you know, you like go back to work or you go back to like normal school and it's just kind of like boring and you're like, wow, like that was so fucking boring and it didn't matter anyway and I could have like done something really cool and unique and fun. So yeah, yeah. But that's me, guys. 3 years. It's a long fucking time. It's been a lot of fun. It's been quite the journey. I think it's really cool. It's really weird to have the channel if I pull it up. You know, like I have like a really comprehensive diary here. Like it's there's quite a lot of content. I think some people have said they've kind of like binged through all of them. I think it's probably interesting to watch me both as like language and as a person. I mean, in 3 years, I changed a fuck ton as a person, right? Like I was in what like in the middle of high school, and I was a very different person. I had very different interests. I just it was very different. You know, 3 years ago, it's a long time. I've learned a lot, both about like Korean and also just language learning in general, and I hope that this serves as a resource to you guys. I hope it's just interesting or valuable. It's also been fun for me just to have this kind of like stuff, just kind of this like record of my thoughts and what I've been working on, what I've been thinking. And yeah, so I guess I guess that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of special stuff this month, and I will see you next month for month 37. I hope you all have a beautiful May. The spring is very nice. The weather's been great here. I hope wherever you live, the weather is great as well. And yeah, make sure to leave a comment. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this one's probably a longer one. And yeah, I will see you next month. All right. Bye.